Hello friends, long time no see. Hello. I have some new Rare Beauty products to try because I've been stressy spaghetti, so I decided to buy some stuff about it. I wanted to try out the new products and I wanted to try them out with you guys. So we will do that. I am going to be doing a wear test. I'm getting a little bit of a late start to the day, but I stay up very late, so it'll all balance out. It's 3:40 right now, so I'm just gonna skedoodle on into it. I'm probably gonna kind of chat as I go. So I grabbed the foundation. The color likely does not match me, but you can't color match yourself in Sephora right now. And so it has the same numbering system as Fenty, and I believe they are both Kendo brands. I can't get this box open, good God. They are both Kendo brands, and I was thinking that maybe because the funny. I was thinking that because the numbers were the same, I was like, oh, maybe the shades will match up. The answer is no. They do not. A lot of the lighter shades were all quite cool, and then it jumped to very yellow. So I'm hoping that they're going to sandwich in more shades as they go along. It's still a 48 shade range right now, which I think is still really, really fantastic. I think they could just use like a couple in between still, you know, and I know Fenty even did expand their range after a little while, so this is definitely too dark, but like, it is what it is. Oh, I forgot, you have to shake this. There's a little ball in here, so you give it a little shaky shake. This foundation is supposed to be a foundation elixir that feels barely there while building coverage and boosting your natural glow. I love to glow, so that's lovely. Directions for use: shake well. Got some oils in here, that's fun. So this will be quite hydrating. Oil, silicone, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. Lots of like flower extracts and stuff towards the bottom too. I'm assuming those are what's helping boost the glow power. But I got shade 180W because it looked a little bit more neutral than some of the other W's that were like very, very yellow. This is definitely not like my match, but I figured I could at least like kind of flex this one with a little bit of self-tan. Did I self-tan today? The answer is no, but you know. Now, they do have their own sponge. I've seen some reviews on it, and like looking at it texturally, it did not speak to me. I'm gonna stick with my good old Juno sponge here. Now, this isn't supposed to be a full coverage foundation. It's supposed to be like a nice medium. This whole brand just is really screaming like Gen Z vibes to me, if I'm being completely real. Because it's like very natural, very dewy, and like all that fun stuff. So it looks really, really nice so far. I don't know why it's catching in that like one little spot. That's weird. I did already prime. She did come out with like an illuminating primer, but I don't need any more primers, so I passed. But she did come out with an illuminating primer to go with this, which, you know, looked cute. There's lots of reviews up on it already, so you can do with that information what you will. It does feel like really, really thin. Like, I feel like the terminology elixir foundation, like, it makes sense for this texture. It's very interesting. It's very thin. It does have a doe foot. Now, I've seen some people saying that like the doe foot plus hygiene equal medium, which they can, especially if you have acne or blemishes, such as myself. But your concealer most likely also has a doe foot, or it has a pot and you're dipping back and forth. We tend to really contaminate our own makeup without thinking twice about it. Obviously, if you are a makeup artist that decided to put this in their kit, you would never use the doe foot directly on your client, unless that foundation was only for use on that one client. So you can take the extra precautions of working off the back of your hand or anything like that if you want to, if you do have more acne prone skin, or if you break out easily or anything like that. But like for the average Joe, you know, like this won't kill you. It's okay. We do it with lots of our other products where they come in contact with our skin and then we dip right back into whatever the product was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many of us are out here wiping down our powders after each use or anything like that, so I don't think it's as serious as some people are making it out to be. But this is one layer. It looks quite pretty. Definitely like medium, maybe a little bit of a light to medium kind of feel in terms of coverage. Very luminous. I'll zoom you guys in. So this is one layer close up on my skin, just so you guys can see like the texture of my skin and all that kind of fun stuff. I did put my e.l.f. Pore Putty on, like around my T-zone, so it's definitely not like emphasizing my pores or texture too much or anything like that. A little bit right here I can see if I'm like being picky, it's kind of clinging to some dry skin. And on my chin as well, it's doing like a little bit of clinging, but nothing too crazy. I am gonna build it a little bit just because I want to see how it would look built up, but I think whoops. I think I'll use a brush just to like see how that goes. Oh, there's a hair on my face. Interesting, it doesn't feel sticky. Really interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little more in some spots. It's really, really liquidy. I feel like if you say were to take the dough foot out of this while it was like on its side or upside down, like if you weren't thinking, twisted it and went like this, I think it would leak for sure based on the texture of this. I don't want to try it and find out, so I'll pass on that. But that is just a little warning because I could totally see that happening with something as thin as this. It's like very serum-y. I think it's building all right. I don't think you could get this like all the way to like a full, but that's also not what it's made for. So I wouldn't hold that against it at all. It's not like it's marketing itself as being able to do that. Although I think I liked how it looks better with the sponge. I feel like the sponge like pushes it into your skin a lot nicer. So I'm actually just gonna do that instead. All right, I think that looks cute. Do I need to bring it down my neck? Yes, let me do that. So I'm going to start getting off topic now really quick. So I have not been posting a whole ton as of late, and that is because I am trying to start making my own cosmetics. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. It's a lot of research. I want to do everything the best way that I possibly could. Will I be starting like as a home kind of situation? Absolutely. I don't have the finances to like go to a company and start having them like private label and stuff like that for me. But I've definitely watched a lot of videos. I'm already kind of learning from other people's mistakes, like in terms of hygiene, in terms of like preservatives and stuff like that. So things that I'm still experimenting with, but I'm very excited, but it is taking up a lot of my time. Especially because like once I fixate on something, like that's what we're doing now. So I've been like really, really heavily focused on it. Also, I'm sorry if you guys can hear the lawnmower outside. But yeah, so I've been really fixated on it, really focused. It's been chewing up a lot of my time. So this is just like a nice little sit down that I'm having here. I have more stuff I'm gonna do later. Right now, I'm doing lip glosses and scrubs. The gloss formula I have at a point where I really like it, and a plumper as well. And then the scrubs, I'm still doing some experimenting with because I didn't want to just like throw like some oil and sugar in a pot and like call it a day. That's effective, but I feel like there's other hydrators and other ingredients that can be added to increase the benefits. So that's what I've been kind of playing with as of late. So yeah, I'm still kind of messing around with some of that. A little bit of trial and error in terms of texture and all that kind of fun stuff. But I've been trying to base my formula for the scrub off of like some more high-end formulas. So that'll be a little bit more of like a luxurious experience, if you will. So we are actually, I'm going to be making my third batch tonight, which I think will have the final changes that I need to make for me to be happy with the formula. So that is exciting. And I do plan to make some content around the creating and formulating and all that kind of fun stuff. I did record myself making some glosses the other day, and I'm gonna edit those down and most likely just put them on my TikTok just so I can like record a voiceover for it super easy and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna do a little bit of powder underneath the eyes. I don't really want to set the rest of my face because I'm gonna be using other creams, but my under eyes will crease if I don't do this, so. Okay, so where the concealer and the foundation kind of meet is looking like a little bit odd. I think maybe this concealer and this foundation just don't work together perfectly. Let me bring you guys in. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see. I'm just waiting for this to stop being so bright. Hello? Yeah, so like right over here, where the foundation and the concealer kind of meet, it's just like a little bit funky. I don't know. There's like a textural thing happening there. So I just wanted, whoop, to show you guys that. So I'm going to do my bronzer, and then I'll be back to do more stuff. Okay, we are back. I am bronzed. I did notice that on my forehead it kind of lifted up the foundation a little bit when I was buffing it in. I was a little bit lighter handed on my cheeks to try to avoid that, but just something to note. I feel like with the whole mood and vibe of this brand, I'm sure they will come out with like some sort of cream blush serum, not blush, not bronzer, some kind of like creamy bronzing product. I did grab the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Happy. So there's 4 dewy shades and there's 4 matte shades. I grabbed a dewy one. I like to be dewy, and also I couldn't decide while we were there, and I asked my boyfriend and he was like, you like to be dewy, so that's why I bought this one. There were some colors in the mattes that really spoke to me because I find that the different finishes also had different ranges of color, which I guess is like a slight complaint coming from me because I wish that some of these dewy ones had more neutral options like the matte ones did. But I'm still very excited to try this. Apparently this is a long-lasting liquid blush that blends and builds beautifully for a soft, healthy flush. So I've seen some videos, I've seen some people go in with too much and make that mistake, so I will try to not make that mistake. I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand and then like pick it up on my sponge. So this is the color, very nice and concentrated. This matches my hair beautifully. And I'm just gonna use the butt of my sponge here. Oh my god, I barely picked up any, and that's so much. Holy! Okay. Yes, give us blush. All right. It does have a nice dewy finish. This is going to be a very blushy look, I suppose. So I'm just going to like bring it into the centers of my face a little bit. Yeah, that color like really spread. Texturally, it looks beautiful. But I guess just be careful. Because that gave like a lot out of, you know. And I was like, I'm not going to make a mistake. And then I made a mistake. Classic Taylor here. I can see it meeting where I had to set my under eyes, and I can tell that it is not vibing with that. I'm gonna put a little on my nose too. Let's just look like a little, like you know how the Gen Zers look on TikTok with all their blush. I sound really old, but I'm like literally just an old Gen Z / young millennial, depending on what your opinion is. Okay, that's pretty. Really cute texture. Again, it's getting a little funky where it's meeting with the powder from my under eyes, so I think I would just have to be a little bit more purposeful with my placement going forward. But I really, really like the color. I wonder, I'm gonna put a different thing on my lips later, but I just want to throw this on my lip really quick. My lips are so dry. I just want to see how it looks, to be honest. I feel like you could use this on your lips if you wanted to. I'd put a gloss over it. But it just gives you a little bit of color on your lips. I think that's fun. I know she did come out with lip products, but again, those didn't really speak to me, so I did not pick any up. But the last thing I picked up is the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer in the shade Enlighten, which I believe is the lightest shade, which is a silky second skin liquid highlighter that creates a lasting lit from within glow. So interesting. I don't know. When I saw swatches, it really reminded me of the Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops, like that really metallic kind of look. Although looking at it in the tube now, it looks a lot less intense than that. But let's see. Do I need to like shake this? So this, I like this doe foot. They made the doe foot kind of flat on the end, so it doesn't pick up a whole ton. So I'm gonna use my sponge to blend this in too. But I'm just gonna like, I guess tap some up there. And then try to quickly go in with this bad boy. Yeah, it really kind of stuck where I put it. That's interesting. It looks pretty, but I don't think I'd put the applicator directly on my skin again. I think I would maybe, yeah. I like the way I'm doing it with the sponge now, where I paint it onto the sponge and then do it. Oh no! That does not look good up close. Okay. Let me do the other side and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, this really picks up whatever is underneath it. Okay. So, from afar, it's cute. It's like high shine, no glitter, which is nice. It just looks like, oops, sorry, that's my phone. It just looks really nice and fresh. Up close, so I just need this to darken a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, I don't know if you can see how, like when I look straight, look at how awful that looks. There's like this huge line here. It picked up everything that was underneath it. It doesn't pass the vibe check currently. I think I'll have to experiment with it a little bit maybe. Yeah, I guess I'll have to play around with it. I'm not super pleased about that. I will play with it, but I might return it. Because I don't like how that looks. I don't think that's cute. I don't think that's spunky fresh. I don't think it's a vibe. Let me just, I want to touch it and see if it's like still wet, like if all this is. So the blush set down a little bit and has a little bit of tack. This also set down to have just a tiny bit of tack. I think I might just need to play with it a little bit more. Again, maybe use a different concealer because I know the concealer wasn't really vibing with the foundation, but that leaves me like a little bit unimpressed. Yeah, so I guess like we'll do lips while we're hip and hanging out here, you know? And we'll do our check-ins later, but yeah, I'm not super happy about that. So I'm just gonna line my lips with MAC's Whirl. Okay, and then I have this new lip from them. It's the Powder Kiss Liquid Lip Color. Now, I did used to work for MAC. I quit back in March, pre-current situation, and these came out not too long ago, and I was excited about them even before I quit just because I thought they'd be a nice texture. Oh lord, that was a lot. They're like moussey. I was worried they'd be like the Pony Park ones because I wasn't a fan of those. But these feel a little bit more hydrating. I wouldn't say that they're like an actual moisturizing lip product, don't get me wrong. But they feel a lot nicer. And my lips are like hella crusty right now and it's not emphasizing that, which makes me very happy. They look nice and smooth. I might put some gloss over it later. This is actually a sample of the plumper that I'm making. It goes on essentially clear. It's just that the we'll call it the agitating ingredient that I use has some color to it and the color is ugly. So I added just a little tint to it to make it look a little bit nicer. But that is all the new stuff we have to try out. So like I said, we'll be doing a wear test. I will check in later. Right now it is 4:06. I will cover, whoop. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, there we go. So it's 4:06. I'll be back much later in the evening with more thoughts for you guys. Bye. Hello, friends. We are back for our end of the day check-in. It is 12:27 in the morning / nighttime. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Obviously for the lipstick, I did touch up, but right before I came on, it lasted a couple hours, but I had taco salad and there was no surviving the taco salad. So let me bring you guys in. I look not great. Like, so my under eyes, like out here, like almost never do this. Like they'll do this if I don't set under there. The creasing is exponential. Now, I feel like, because this highlighter does have like some more emollient properties to it, I'm thinking that it kind of spread out a little bit and worked its way up here and actually messed with my concealer. Not a fan of that. There are ways to counteract that, like maybe I could set after I do the highlight and see how that works, but you know, we're learning. There's a fuzzy on my face. Yeah, other under eye, same deal. The blush is like with us, but not as with us as she was. I'm missing a good amount of my nose. I'm missing a good amount of my chin as well. I did get like dressing on my chin because I'm an animal. So like the oiliness kind of took that off. And I did touch my face over here once. I like scratched it because I forgot I was wearing makeup. My forehead's not like the worst. She's not the best, but she's not the worst. In between my eyebrows looks really, really heavy. And around my nose, like on my upper lip, is either gone or caking. And over here, if you guys can see, is like separatey dry-ish. I don't really know. So overall, let me zoom you guys out. It's definitely some conflicting feelings for sure. The foundation I'm not going to write off just yet, just because it applied really nicely and it looked really nice in the beginning. I'm going to play around with it with some different primers and stuff like that and see if that helps. So the foundation is like a 6 out of 10 for me. Or maybe just I could wear it for shorter days. Like I wore this for just over 8 hours. So maybe for like a shorter day kind of scenario. I'm laid off right now anyway, so it's not like I have particularly long days working or anything like that. So yeah, I think 6 out of 10, like not mad, but didn't meet my expectations based on other reviews that I've watched. I'll say that. The blush, well, it did fade a little bit. I'm still really happy with how it looks. I'm really happy with how it applied. It's so pigmented and it's going to last forever. So I absolutely recommend this, especially like for this, the kind of blush that it is. Like easy, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10, we'll say. Just because it is so pigmented, I feel like if you are learning, you may have a little bit of a learning curve. But other than that, I really, really love it. The highlight. I am very sad that I don't like this. I'm going to try it one more time, and if I don't like it, I am returning it. I just swatched it on my hand because I just wanted to see. It is like so pretty, but I'm even noticing out of the light on my hand, there's like an odd little cast. I don't know. I don't like what it did to my concealer. I don't like how it lifted off all the foundation that was underneath it. It's just not a vibe for me personally. So again, I'll try it one more time with something else, but I have other liquid highlighters that I like so much more. Like my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Hollywood Filter with Lula is fantastic, looks better than this, and doesn't mess with my makeup. So unfortunately I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 10. Because application was poor, the wear is poor, it only gets points for having a shade range, and that's it. It's not a vibe for me. It ain't it. And then the last thing, the Powder Kiss Liquid Lipstick from MAC. I was really worried that I wasn't going to like this based on those other lipsticks that I mentioned, the Pony Park, because we got all of those, like we all got a shade for gratis, and of course like they want you to wear it for launch, so I wore mine, and I just despised the texture so much. It just didn't feel super comfortable. Some people really loved it, and like, good for you. It was not for me. I'm really, really happy with this. The texture of this feels so fantastic. It feels so smooth. It does feel lightly hydrating at first. It's not going to keep your lips hydrated. That is not the purpose. It's not the point. It's not going to happen. It took a while for my lips to start feeling dry though. I just kept going like, because it felt so smooth. Right now I did put a gloss over it. Just like a clear gloss, I just put like the plumper that I made over top of it, so it's not changing the color or anything, but just because my lips were like super crusty. But yeah, I'm like super, super happy with it. Depending on the shade range, I may or may not pick up more as time goes on. I shopped in-store, so it was a little bit tricky because I just had to like kind of eyeball it through the tubes, and my lovely friend Trinity was kind enough to swatch them on paper for me. And there's already some shades that were sold out that I think I would have vibed with. So we will see about that, but I would give that like an 8.5 out of 10 as well. You know what, I'm actually going to try really quick. I'm all over the place right now. Like, look at what I'm wearing. So I was curious to know if you could use these on your cheeks, because I was like, texture-wise, it looks like it would make sense. And Trinity said that you can. So I'm gonna try to blend this into my cheek. Oh, that like really picked up in the one spot that I put it. Not bad though. I figured you could, just because of like the moussey texture and the bullet lipsticks of the Powder Kiss lipsticks you can use as blushes too. But I just wanted to try on camera. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, easy, like, I'll give it a 9 because it worked on my cheeks too. 9 out of 10 for that. A perfect 10 out of 10 for me would just be the fact that if it could be a little bit more hydrating. But we take what we can get. But that is everything, you guys, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I'm very tired. So I'm gonna go wash my face. And with that, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to hang out with me in the early hours of the morning. And I will see you next time. Bye.